Hi everyone, welcome back to Colouring Kid. Today this is going to be part one of how I pick a colour palette. So this part is going to be how I would pick a colour palette for a particular flower or just little things, and then the second part will be how I pick a colour palette for an overall page. So if I just give you an example. So this is an example of a colour palette that I did for a whole page. Sandala here. As you can see, it's mainly blues, purples, pinks, and then creamy peaches and yellows. So that was my overall colour palette. So this is what we would mainly do for the second part. But the first part today, I'm going to explain how I would colour a certain flower or flowers in the same colour. So as you can see, I've just done some of these plant pots here. So what I would do is a number of different things. I would first say, okay, if I want to do, let's go for, which flower should we do? Let's do, okay, let's do these flowers here. So I'd say, okay, I'm not sure what colour I want this flower to be. So first I could go on Google and type flowers. And as you can see here, there are tons and tons of flowers. These ones aren't very specific, obviously, if they will load. They're not very specific towards, what like one type of flower, but you can get an idea if you wanted to follow a bouquet of flowers, for example, that have a number of different colours in, then you can do that. The second thing you could do, and I will show you, is this. Sorry, I just had to go and grab the book. So I have got this book which has got loads and loads of different flowers in, which go month by month, like this, of loads and loads of different flowers that are referenced for you. Now, you don't just have to use flowers like this as a reference, you can also use other things. And I'm just going to move the camera so I can grab something, and this will go down. This will move down a minute. You could use a book like this, which has loads of different animals in. Now, again, it doesn't just have animals, it has plants here at the start. But mostly it's loads of different animals in, different parts of wildlife like that. So you can use a reference book to get pictures. So for today I'm going to use this book. So because it's month by month, it's February currently. So if I go to the February section, which is just a page, you can see all of these watercoloured flowers and leaves and things like that, and it tells you what they are. So this one, for example, is elm. This is a daisy over here. So if you're not sure, you could do that. Now, for me personally, there aren't too many flowers that I would like to use, so you can just flick through like this and kind of just do what you want. So I think I might do this one. So this is the Lesser Periwinkle, which is purple. So you have a few options from here. You can either go straight from a reference page, or again you can search here, a Lesser Periwinkle. And then take a picture here, for example, or not, if it will work. Okay, maybe it won't work. Oh, there we go. So it's actually coming out blue, but it's purple. So you could do that instead. And then what I would do, and I really recommend having one of these, is a swatch book. So I'm going to do a video of a flip through of my swatch book very soon, but you can go to a particular page and then go from there based on what colours you want. So I think I'm going to focus on my budget pencils for these flowers. So I've got my Faber-Castell Eco coloured pencils over here and my classic colour pencils over here. So I've got purples up here and again purples up here. So I think I'm going to go for 339, 341 and lilac over here. So you then have the colours that you've just got from a reference page, linked to your colour pencils. So if I grab those out, you can see here I've got them, 341, and my lilac is actually in my pencil case. So, from that it's really helpful because you've got a picture that you like that you can then use. Now, this is the lesser periwinkle and this is the greater periwinkle, and the colours are fairly similar. So I'm just going to stick with my lesser periwinkle. You can then use this picture as a reference. Now, it's quite useful to do this just because it's just easier to follow a picture, and this is how personally I would do a colour palette. So then, for example, if I did these purple, I would probably do a flower over here purple. Alternatively, if these are going to be blue, and I probably will do these bluebells blue, I would then do these bluebells over here blue, or even these ones. So it really depends what you want to do. But if you do pick a colour for a flower and there are lots of other flowers on the page, make sure it's cohesive and that you give a balance of each colour on the side, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to zoom in and show you then how you can easily colour a flower based on a colour palette that you've chosen. So I'm going to go in first with the lilac, and I'm just going to base both of them. Like that. Then I'm going to go straight in with the darker colour, which I haven't used before actually. But I'm going to do this lightly because I don't want it too dark. And so just go over the darker areas, and once you know what your colours are, everything else is easy. It's just a matter of colouring it in. So I hope to film part 2 fairly quickly after this one. So this is kind of the more simple way of finding a colour palette that you like. You can go on Pinterest or Design Seeds. They're really good sites for finding particular colour palettes for a full page, but obviously in this part we're just focusing on one small area of a page, so it's a bit different. And then we can go over the whole thing in the lilac. And then I'm going to use my blender. So that is really the basic thing to doing a simple colour palette for one part of a picture. So step 1, find something that you want to colour on the page. Step 2, either you can look on the internet, find a colour palette for that particular part of the page, or go to a reference book, depending what it is, and find a flower that looks like it or that you like within that colour of the flower. Step 3, go into your swatch book here and find the corresponding colours that you like. And then step 4, transfer these colours here onto your page. So I hope this has helped. It was quite it was simple. It's all just kind of step by step of how I would do it. Not everyone will do this. Some people will just go straight in and colour because, you know, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, I hope this has helped, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!